23rd of October, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Okay. Good. This is Rabbi from Furst here again. Zoom. We're now in our truth from Moshe, Feinstein, Zechon Bracha. And let's continue on where you see on your, should be hopefully coming on the screen soon.
I think we were on 7.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We have an abbreviation here. Shin Vav Tav.
Shaila Uteshuva, I think. Or Teshuvot.
Shaila and Teshuvah.
Yeah, questions and answers.
Agros Moshe, Igeris Moshe, Yoreh, Da, Chalak, Dalid, Simon, Lamed Vav. Okay, so that's the reference. Bichorim ha mivakshim le'azov es hayeshiva the little mode b'michlala today lehachin atzmam limudei refuah. Okay, let's see. So students I don't know what hamivakshim is.
But they desire, mevakish, person's mevakish, he has a desire. From bakasha, bakasha is a request. From mevakshim. So you have bacharim, in the yeshiva that they have a desire
to return.
Let's read the whole sentence now. Read the whole sentence.
I'm trying. the azov is that meaning to return?
Well, azov is to actually to leave.
To leave the yeshiva and to learn what is b'miklala?
I think to get a education. There's from getting an education.
In order lahachin atzmam, in order to to fulfill themselves with learning.
Prepare.
There, that's right. Very good. That's right.
To prepare them.
Right, to prepare.
For learning and healing.
No, learning. They want to become doctors.
For learning to be a doctor.
Right. Rav Moshe was asked this question about there are certain bachrim in a certain yeshiva, and they're interested in leaving the yeshiva because they want to go to a university to prepare themselves to become doctors.
I see. Bachurim, a desire to return and learn in an educational institution in order to prepare themselves to learn to be doctors. Im lahashpia aleihem shaya sharo bi yeshiva. Okay, if they influence
But im lahashpia aleihem lahashiro b'yeshiva. Should we influence them to remain in the yeshiva?
oh, that's the question. The question is should the questioner dissuade them from doing it?
Right. That's right. That's the question. They have some bakrim, and they have this interest in going to university and becoming doctors. So they want to leave the yeshiva to start a secular education. And the question is, should you influence them? If you have the ability to influence them, should you influence them to change their minds?
Okay. Hine vadai tov ma she katra
That's a form that Taurus Munach Makavodo. That's a reference to the person who's writing the letter. That's a reference to give him a salutation to the person who's writing the question to Moshe.
Okay. Mishtadel ba'anayin ma she his midim talmidim
Right.
achar shegamru bihi shiva bi hayeshiva es limude hachol shalahem. It's certainly good. What the questioner what's mishtadel?
He's attempting, right?
He's attempting but and what is ba'anayin with his eye?
No, be'inyan with Vaday tov ma shemishtadel be'inyan ma shetalmidim acher shegamo b'yeshiva esnu minechol shalahem. It's definitely good what the person who's asking Rav Moshe is trying to do, to put forth efforts to convince them to remain in yeshiva after they've finished their learning in the yeshiva, to continue on in the yeshiva.
She'adayin Haim B'nai Yud Zayin Barach.
Because there are these boys are they're about 17 years old. These boys are like 17-year-old boys, and now they're thinking that they want to leave the yeshiva and go to college and university to become doctors.
Right. Rotzim le azuv es hayeshiva behas behis tas Biyotzer, Hayotzer, Ki'ilu
Hayetzer, the Yetzer hara.
Yetzer. Uh, Ki'ilu Shet Tzrichim Kavar Lidog Lap Ri Nastam.
The Parnassam, the Parnassam, the
Parnassam.
Parnass. These boys are 17 years old, and they're only interested in leaving the yeshiva because they're getting advice from their Yetzer hara, as if they need already to start worrying about Parnassam. That we have a problem. You have a problem that people in America, especially, you grow up in a Goyish, non-Jewish society, and a lot of the people there, they go to public schools, and the natural public thing, the public schools, you graduate from high school, and you naturally either go to college, university, or you go out to work, right?
Right.
And you get yourself. So the Jewish people are influenced by this gentle Goyish philosophy, which is actually very good for them. It's good to keep. I'm very in favor of child labor, and if the kids would be working after school, they wouldn't be involved with all the other trouble that they get into when they have their free time on the weekends on afternoon school days. That it's good to keep them busy, and so it's really good that the goyim, that they send their children after high school. They should be sending them to learn if they want to get an education, and then they'll be out getting to work after that, or they'll go straight into work, become cab drivers or plumbers, the gas station attendants, whatever, waiters, butlers, whatever they want to do, and they'll be busy and they'll stay out of trouble and they make me money and they'll have decent lives for themselves, right? But that's not healthy for the Jewish boys and the Jewish girls as well. The Jewish boys and Jewish girls, they have a chiyuv, an obligation that they have to prepare themselves for their career for the Jewish people, that they have to get themselves ready, prepared for getting married and having Jewish families and raising Jewish children, and they have to be preparing themselves to function properly with Torah and mitzvahs. And there's no need at this time that they should be concerned about their parnasa. So it's just the Yetzer hara which is convincing them that they have to start doing these things. But it's also, I would add, not just the Yetzer hara, but it's also the influence of our unfortunate gullus. Kadosh Baruch Hu put us in this gullus. He's keeping us in this gullus, and unfortunately, we're being very seriously influenced by the environment around us, which is only natural, the way Kadosh Baruch Hu created us. A Kadosh Baruch Hu created us, as the Rambam says, a person is created and then he's drawn after the environment which is around him. And unfortunately, Kadosh Baruch Hu is still keeping us in this gullus, and unfortunately, we're getting ever deeper into it. So I would add, it's not just the Yetzer hara, but it's also the gullus that we live amongst the non-Jews, and this is their way of life, right? It's their way of life, and unfortunately, we're influenced by that.
Are you assuming that they have enough money
Money for what?
to get married and have a family and to pay their bills?
Well, who's going to put them through college? They're interested in becoming doctors. How much does it cost them to become a doctor?
A lot.
Well, it depends. I mean, there are very inexpensive ways to do it. You can take out a loan. You can go to a community college. I don't know how much it costs, but it can be done very, very cheaply.
Cheaply? I doubt it very much. You can't get no one comes out of medical school without debts and I don't know how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, yeah, they'll end up with a lot of debts for their student loans, for sure. But then when they earn their salary as a doctor, they pay it off.
So they'll take money for out of they'll buy it. They take a loan for getting married also. They're worried about money. There's other ways to you don't have to worry when you're 17 years old about parnassia. There's way too premature to worry about such things. Okay, let's continue on.
Who Mishum Sheha Parnasa Deshayich Sheyiyah Lahem Gam Ma'ani Torah Kamal Mad Virav Ein Lahem Vizeh Sipuk Ha Nefesh. So and it is because of Parnasa that it's proper, that it should be for them. Also, I don't know, Ma'anini.
Rav Moshe says like this. This is how Rav Moshe is explaining how the Yetzer Hara got involved here. That the Yetzer Hara is involved here because here it says why are they interested in leaving the yeshiva now at such a young, unripe age and entering into a career of medicine, which is going to take how long is it? 8 years at least, Mayor? How long is a medical
Yeah, I
career?
would think at least 8 years.
At least 8 years, and then they just
Then you have to intern, I think, for 2 years after that, even.
10 years,
Yeah.
and they're building up debts each and every year. And so why are they interested in doing this? This is because the Yetzer Hara has convinced them, who mishum sheparnasa deshayach shirlehem gam inyanim Torah kemelamed ora, because the Yetzer Hara has convinced them that making a parnasa in the field of Torah, it can be a melamed, it can become a rav, it can become a paisek, can go into other areas of Torah parnasa. Elam is a sipuk nefesh. The Yetzer Hara is considered this is not going to satisfy your gaiva. You want to be called a doctor. You want to be DR before your name. So you're not going to, instead of being called rabbi, you want to be called doctor. So okay, that's the Yetzer Hara's business here. These boys, obviously, if a boy is contemplating at 17 years old, he's contemplating going to university to engage in a career of becoming a doctor. 10 years of efforts. He's obviously a bright boy. He probably has a good head. He's obviously able to pass the Regents test and then the college qualification. Well, I don't think they have those anymore, right? There's open colleges now. You don't need to be the biggest dummy in the world to enter college now and get a qualification for anything. And as long as you somehow pass the tests. But these boys, in those days, when Rav Moshe was writing this, you had to pass tests to get into college. To be accepted to medical school, you had to pass tests.
Yeah.
And so these boys are capable boys. So they're very well qualified in terms of their mental capacities to become rebbeim and rebbes and being able to teach and build the foundations of Torah in Klal Yisrael. So why are they interested in doing something else? That's because the Yetzer Hara has convinced them that's not a worthy profession for their pride. Okay. Va'af, then we're starting by the word in the middle of the third line in that paragraph number 8.
Right, I got stuck on the word ma'anini.
Mi'inyani Torah in the various different aspects of Torah. Inyan is like an aspect or a concept or a topic.
I see. Okay, so it's because of Parnasa that it's proper for them to be involved in Torah subjects.
Yeah. Meaning it's because that the parnasa, which is possible to be had in various different areas of Torah, kilamame, to become like a rebbe, or a rav, to become a rav, to give shirim, or to become a dayan. That's not satisfying them, their gaiva. That's not satisfying their gaiva, their pride.
And what is this Kemal Mad?
Kimilame, to be like a malame, to be a rebbe.
A teacher, to be like a teacher.
Right, to be a teacher.
And a Rav.
Right.
It's not for them in this. What is sipuk?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction of their nefesh.
Right.
That's the gaiva you're talking about?
Right.
Va'af lo bit parnasa mi machshav.
Right, and also that's the look at this in the parentheses computar. You see the word computar?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
computar.
Computar.
Kedomag gamkain lo yiu shiboi ratzon.
Yes. Also the parnasa, even also the parnasa that they would get from going into computers or similar other things like that. Gamkein lo hayu savi ratzon. Also, that doesn't satisfy their desire. You could take a short course. They had, I forgot what was the name. What was the organization that does Ort, yeah, that's right. Ort, right. They have programs for B'nai Torah that they can learn, and they can get certifications for various different qualifications and working in these kind of areas in a short time. And also you're not limited to such a long great effort of going to medical school and all that. And also don't think doctors have it all that easy, especially in the early day. They're working and they have to work on Shabbos too. It's not so proper. The mission in the end of Kedushin says a person should teach a son. A father's obligated to teach his son a parnasa. There's a mishnah. A father's obligated to teach his son a parnasa. So he should be able to earn money, right? And it should be kal v'naki. It should be easy. It should be easy, and it should be clean. It should be easy. I mean, it shouldn't take away from a person's time and efforts to learn Torah, because that's the main thing that a Jewish person is supposed to be doing in this life. And also, it should be naki. It should be free from Avos. Shouldn't be getting involved with various different types of parnasas that involve Avos. I know a former lawyer, and he said to be a good lawyer, you have to be a good liar. So It's not very, it's not, it's not, it's not a very good profession. It's not a very good profession for a Jewish person, right? So, yeah, I know another lawyer. I know another lawyer, a Talmud of mine. He's a criminal lawyer. So he told me once the first I must have mentioned this years ago to you also. He told me once the first thing when he interviews a potential client, right? The first question he asked was, I said, "Tell me, did you do it or you didn't do it?" And you know, most of them they look at him with a blank stare on their faces. Listen, don't worry. Even if you did it, we can still get you off, right? So,
Right.
so anyway, yeah. So Rav Moshe says, yeah, if they want, if they, you know, they want to get, they're worried if they really are sincerely worried about parnasa. You know, again, it depends on what kind of a family background they come from. You know, some people they don't have help from their parents. Sometimes they have to take care, and then they have to assume the yoke, the burden of earning a living earning a living at an earlier age than others, and they don't have the luxury of maybe studying more in yeshiva as possible. They can go to, like you said, Ort and other programs that they have that you can do things on a minimal basis. And because again, you have to realize that when it comes to parnasa, our job is to do the minimal Hishtadalus, because really everything we believe, obviously we believe, and if a person doesn't believe this, he's in big trouble with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And we believe that the Kadosh Baruch Hu is uh, decreeing what we should get, and it's only for us to make the right decisions on how we go about getting it. But it's decreed what we're going to get. So yeah, Ramosha Sega suggests, well, it's they're not satisfied with doing some maybe it's too menial to a job for them to be working at a computer, sitting at a desk with a computer. So they're not happy with that. Rock, he says, and that's the second line from the bottom of this paragraph 88.
The Rach mi parnassas Hachmas har harfua vikiduma rotzim. So only from a livelihood of wisdom.
Well, Hachmas before the only parnasa from medical knowledge and other similar things like that. I mean, they're only interested in becoming doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs. They're not interested in the menial low life work that blue collar workers do and such like that.
Right. Shebishvil zeh tzrichim hachna gedola, and because of this, they need what is hakana?
Hachana. They need they need a great deal of preparation. Because they want this high prestige, high profile career. They require a lot of preparation.
Right.
A person can take an 8-week course in the diamond district and learn diamonds. And if he gets himself he starts working at the bottom of the diamond, well, that's when diamonds used to be worth something. Now diamonds aren't really worth so much as they used to be. But the person, real estate also, a person can get a real estate license, and he makes parnasa with real estate, right? Buying and selling real estate. Doesn't need but these things they want to go to. I mean, to make such great efforts because of these prestigious careers.
Lelech, the Michlala, the Miklala.
Yeah, you see it. You see the word. You see it in the word in the parentheses. College. College.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Whoa.
College. Okay, so
You have to remember Moshe Zichron Livracha. He grew up in Russia, in Europe. Came to the United States. Let's see. I'm not sure exactly when he came to the United States. I'm not sure if he was there before the war or after the war. I can't remember. But anyway, he wrote all these American words, computer in college. He wrote he, he wrote it down for us. Yeah.
okay,
They have
so
to
what is Lelech?
they have to go to they for these prestigious high profile careers. They need to have a lot of preparation. They have to go to college first, and they're gonna get filled up with a lot of uppy courses. Aside from the great time and effort and money that's involved with it, you're going to get filled up with all the atheism that's exposed that the person's exposed to in the colleges.
Right. Okay, so they have to go to college first, and Sheyiyah Yachad Im Limud Ha 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 Harofeh the Kaduma.
Right, and he's gonna be Shai Yachid. He's gonna be there together with it's going to be like exclusive Yachidim. He's going to be exclusively involved with the learning of the medicine of the all the subjects. He's going to be exclusively involved with learning about the medicine, and other similar things.
Right. So he's not saying they shouldn't be concerned about a parnasa. He's just saying this particular parnasa is no good.
Right.
Okay, so that answers my question I asked before about the money.
Right, because he's responding to this question that these boys were interested in going to learn to be doctors, right? So it says it's going to take them more than 10 years. Again, these boys are 17 years old, right? So by the time they're ready to start their careers, they're going to be almost 30 years old, right?
Right.
And they're going to leave the yeshiva. That means they're going to close the Gemara. And when the next time they may look at the Gemara, maybe when they retire, when they're in their 60s or 70s. That's when maybe the next time they'll look at a Gemara.
Right.
Okay, let's continue on with paragraph number 9.
Hine kavar amarti b'perush atzas rishayim. And we see that already.
Amarti, I said, and I've already, Amarti, Chavar Amarti, I've already said, perish in the explanation of Eitz Rishoyim, the advice of the evildoers.
That this advice is evil?
Well, he's saying that he's now going and explaining. If you have Tehillim by you, if you have a Tehillim by you, it's the very first pasuk in Tehillim. David Melech's very first statement to Tehillim. Take a look there.
Let's see.
Very
Blessed is
good.
the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scorners.
Actually, it's very good. If you don't mind, we could read. You can read it in English. The whole chapter is not very long.
But his delight is in the Torah of the Lord, and in his Torah he meditates day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by streams of water that brings forth its fruit in its season. Its leaf also shall not wither, and in whatever he does, he shall prosper. Not so the wicked, but they are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore, the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish.
Very good, very good. So let's just review the first 2-3 sentences again. Let's just review those first 2 sentences or 3 sentences.
Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scorners. But his delight is in the Torah of the Lord, and in his Torah he meditates day and night.
Right. And then he'll have, and if he does that, he's going to have what he needs. It's going to be like the tree there by the waters, giving fruits in its time. It'll be very, very pleasant for him.
Right.
Okay, so that you should know that the Gemara apply. There are very many different parallelisms and connections, and some in the Gemara apply that those statements to Avraham Avinu. Maybe we'll talk about that Erev Shabbos, how that applies to Avraham Avinu. We'll see. But anyway, let's see what Rabbi Moshe Feinstein Zachor Baruch has to teach us about his very first statement of David HaMelech in his Tehillim.
Okay, so Rav Moshe Feinstein says he explains the advice to the wicked.
Right.
Shehakara Tehillim, that it's in Tehillim 1:1, what we just read. Omer Ashrei Ha'ish. And it says, happy is the man. Al zeh shelo halach be'atzas rishayim. Concerning this, that he should not go in the advice of the wicked.
Right.
Mishum sheshum Adam lo naaseh rasha pitom. Because what is sheshum?
Because mishum sheshum any person shum mishum sheshum adam, that nobody sheshum adam, nobody
Should do wicked suddenly.
Nobody. It's a double negative. Sheshum adam no nasa rasha pitom, that nobody becomes a rasha right away, immediately.
Oh, right. Ella be techila holech be'etza shelahem. Rather, initially, he goes with their advice. Ledoeg, le'ani'in,
The inyan parnasa.
le'inyan, parnasa, that he's pursuing after parnasa. Af she adayin lo hagi zamnu lidog kazeh. Even that already he does not, hagia is what is to touch.
Reach has not yet reached the time.
Reach the time. And what is doeg?
To be concerned.
To be concerned about this.
Right. Meaning the a person doesn't become a Russia all at once immediately. Rather, betchila holech b'atzis shalem. He goes in the taking the advice of the Rishoyim. The doeg that he should start worrying about parnasa. The Rishoyim tell him you should start worrying about parnasa. Sha'af adayin lo hagiyah zman l'doeg b'zeh. Even though the time hasn't come to be concerned about this. It's not the time to be concerned about. 17-year-old doesn't have to be concerned about making a living yet. That's Eitzes Rishoyim.
Right. Sheyesh lo kol tov beves aviv.
Right.
He has everything good from his father.
Right. If he come, we're not talking about a person. He's an orphan or something like that, or if he's the youngest of 10 children or something like that. We're talking, let's take a regular case. And in general, a 17-year-old, the father is already, he himself is probably out working, doing whatever. So he is in bed. He has room and board from his father, and his father's probably paying for his tuition in the yeshiva, and so he's okay. He's fine. He's fine. Everything's good. He has no reason to be concerned about parnasa. His concern should be what's pshat and tosus, how to learn the Mishnah Brewer, how to daven properly, right? That's what he should be concerned about.
The gam avod aviv hu yoter nakal leparnaso. And also he works the work of his father. It's more what's nakal?
Not easy. It's easier.
Easy?
Yeah. Right. Gam avor aviv hu yoser nakal leparnasa. Meaning, for the sake of the father, meaning if his father has a business, right? So he can enter the business of his father, right? Which would be much a very easy parnasa for him.
Right. Better than going to college and becoming a doctor. He can work for his father.
Right, work for his father, right? Right, exactly. If his father is, well, again, it all depends. If the father is like he's a public servant, he maybe has a desk job in the city, city administration, is whatever. So it's not always that the father can take him on in the business or whatever like that, right? But if that's such, again, there are no general rules about this. There are many different facets to the question, and each situation is obviously much more complex and detailed than you might think from the surface, right?
Right.
I mean, like the Hasidim, for example, Hasidim in general. I mean, I don't know. I know Hasidim. I have good friends Hasidim, but I don't know too much about the ins and outs of their various life stages. But I know a lot of them. I don't. They wouldn't even dream about going to college. They go basically into businesses and things like this, family businesses, and so the sons go in and they help the fathers, and everyone's happy. They're not interested in the false glamour of these high profile careers and professions. They're not interested in that. They're not impressed by that at all, right? They're interested in raising a nice big Jewish family. That's what's interesting to them. That's what's glory for them.
He ein tzarich v'hotzi al ze k'mi'at klum. Because he doesn't need to go out for this.
No, he means in this case to expenditures. He won't have to. There's no outlay of money if he's going to go working for his father. He's not going to have to spend any money to prepare for that at all. Yeah, maybe his father will say, "Okay, listen, you can take an online course in accounting, right? I'll bring you into the accounting department. You take a couple of courses online, Erev Shabbos, you have Motzi Shabbos, you have an hour or two, you do a course or two, and you'll know the basics, and I'll break you in. Fine."
Mikol makom doeg leparnasa so bishvil atzas rishaim. Nevertheless, what is doeg?
He's worried. He's doeg.
He's worried about parnasa because of the advice of the wicked.
Right. Let's for example, this 17-year-old boy in yeshiva. So his father has a nice little business. Again, he's not the biggest businessman in the world. He's got a nice little business, and his father would be capable, and I'm sure willing, to take his son on eventually when he, let's say, he'll go on after yeshiva. He'll go to kollel after he gets married for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And in the meantime, he can take some online courses and learn a little bit about the business, come in maybe once a day or something like that for a couple hours, learn the business. And you can finally even take over the business from the father. And the father can go and sit and learn in kollel like he's been dreaming about for the last 10, 15, 30, 40, 50 years anyway. But nevertheless, so the 17-year-old boy has nothing to worry about with parnasa. But along comes his uncle, his father's brother, and his uncle sits there, on Shabbos afternoon. They're eating popcorn together, and the father's taking a nap, and the uncle's talking to him. Listen, I went to so and so college. I went and I got myself degrees, and I'm a big doctor. And I get to play golf and everything that I take vacations, and your father, he's still working around, he's still working. What do you need that for? And then the boy starts thinking, maybe my uncle's right. And all it is really Eitzes Hashoyim. It's a big rush. The evil person is his father's own brother, is the biggest rush in the world, trying to talk the boy out of going to a career of being a Ben Torah. Yeah. And the brother thinks he's the most meaningful and well-meaning person in the world. He thinks he's doing the biggest mitzvah. He's saving his nephew from poverty and having to work 6 days a week. He's saving him from poverty.
Right.
But the question is, what's going to be in the next world after it's all done and over? What's going to be in the next world, right? Okay, let's continue on. Let's see, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Well, maybe we should stop. Okay, can we make a mark where we left off? We're in the middle of this paragraph.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just we're in the fourth line in paragraph 9.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
so let's
thank
just
you,
make a-
Rabbi.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Thank you, Lou.
Lou.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you,
take a
Mayor.
short break, and we're back with the Mr. Brusher in a shortly, Mr. Shem.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.